Hello ladies and gentlemen, Biki here with the UntitledGameShow.com, back once again with more video game news, reaction, and discussion for you guys today. And for today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about PlayStation Now. The service is coming exclusively on the PS4 with a subscription service for the first time. The subscription service is going to be costing you $19.99 a month for 1 month, and for 3 months it's going to be costing you guys $44.95. So guys, there is a discount if you want to go with the 3-month plan. Unfortunately, there is no official 1-year plan you guys can buy. But if you do want to try to get a chance to win a 1-year membership to this new service from Sony for PlayStation Now, you can enter a contest by downloading a free theme on your PS4 coming out next week. That free theme will enter you into a contest that lets you get a chance to win a 1-year membership to PlayStation Now, giving you all access to all these digital streaming games. Also guys, there will be some new games added to the service starting on January 13, 2015, which is when this service is going to go live in the United States at least. On that date, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be getting BioShock Infinite, you're going to be getting Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, 2K14, and God of War Ascension. Those are the few new games that are being added on the 13th, along with the already 100+ games that's already on the service currently. So, is this a good deal? Let me know in the comment section below, and well, that's the end of the news part of the video. So if you guys are a new subscriber to me, which I know many of you guys are because I've gained like over 1,000 subscribers in the last week, so I know some of you guys, first time you see one of these videos, these are my news reaction videos. Alright guys, first I explain the news, and if that's all you want to listen to, well, thank you for watching. You got your news fill, and I'll have links in the description to all the sources to this information, and even the trailer from Sony. Well, peace out guys. If you guys want to hear my opinion on the story, well, stick around and let's talk about my discussion of this PlayStation Now announcement. Let's get right into it. So this is way bigger, guys. This is way bigger than most people actually think about it. This is not just some small bit of news. We all know that CES is about to start tomorrow on January 6th, and that's going to be a whole trove of big news as well. Something important is going to be happening at CES tomorrow that many gamers might be overlooking or not paying attention to. Sony and Samsung are working together. Both these companies in the Asian region are actually coming together to put PlayStation Now on their TVs. Now, why would this be important? Well, this is the first sign that Sony is actually expanding their PlayStation brand outside of their own infrastructure. So we all know their interface on the PlayStation 3, PS4, PS Vita, everything's all, even on the computer when you have the little PlayStation apps you could download to sync your stuff back and forth. Those are also Sony branded stuff. Even my phone is Sony and it works pretty well with my thing. But it's nice to see that they're actually finally thinking about, how will we get PlayStation on other devices? And why is this important to saving Sony as a company in the long run compared to everything else that Sony's been doing that's kind of been in a lot of trouble lately financially? PlayStation is still making Sony money. Now, of course, PlayStation Now is not going to be the holy grace of saving Sony, but it's a big part in the step of saving Sony and coming back as a big name in the electronic field when it comes to actually having money. They're already a big name, but they don't got a lot of money currently, especially with the hacks and everything else going on. Now, let's start off with OnLive. Why? This right here. This is OnLive. This is a game streaming console. I have 2 of these. One I got for free, and one I got when I bought my OnLive subscription years ago. I still have my OnLive account. I like using OnLive. I have games like Homefront and a few other games on there, and I've used it for years, and it definitely does work. I don't care what anybody says. If I have it and it works for me, then it means that it works. So I have no fear that the subscription service and everything with PlayStation Now is going to 100% work. They already have a few amount of games on there. Not a few, they actually have a few, over a little about 100. Some of these games are new, some of them are old. We don't have PlayStation 2 games yet. We don't have PlayStation 1 games yet. We don't have PlayStation 4 games yet. But the library is just starting out, and we know for a fact there's going to be more games added to the service. So with all that said, how do I see this actually saving Sony and helping the business grow over the long run? Well, they're expanding their markets to other companies. I mean, if right now Samsung is the one who has in PlayStation Now on their service, in their TVs, and maybe in a year from now, Apple TV will have a PlayStation Now app. Maybe every single Roku box will have a PlayStation Now app. Maybe every single, let's say, Google TV will have a PlayStation app. Amazon Fire TV, PlayStation Now app. Your phone has a PlayStation Now app. If they could turn PlayStation Now into a way to get PlayStation games to any device in the world, that would expand the brand for PlayStation immensely. The fact that Samsung's TVs coming out this year, the smart TVs, will include PlayStation Now is just the first step in this process I see for Sony. And as Sony has stated last year, they're going to start focusing on their PlayStation brand as to be their main brand for the company. If you don't believe me, look it up. This was talked about. Sony realizes that the PlayStation brand is actually making money for them and they need to invest more money into the sector in their company. Yes, they make a lot of money from cameras, from selling the cameras for the iPhone. If you didn't know your iPhone camera was made by Sony, well, now you do. Little information for you right there. They make a lot of money from that. Yes, they have the pictures. Sony Pictures makes some money. But PlayStation is profitable. That's the key word. It is making money. With all the mess up and all the screw ups that Sony's been having over a few years, they're still making money on the PlayStation division. And it would be a horrible thing to see if the whole Sony as a whole takes down Sony PlayStation. So they need to start focusing on this brand, and PlayStation Now might be a key way to start that up. I am guaranteeing you guys, if in a year or 2 years, if they do this right, PlayStation Now will be on every phone, every Roku, every Google Box, just as Netflix will be. And once they start having the infrastructure to add PlayStation 4 games, PlayStation 1 games, PlayStation 2 games, and you're going to be able to go on that service and either rent or maybe even buy. Maybe they'll even get to the point when you could buy these games, and then they have a PS4, a PS3, a PS1, and a PS2 in almost everybody's home that could access it. As long as you have broadband internet connection, and as long as you actually have a phone and a capable device, or any device that actually can run the application. From what I understand, the application for PlayStation Now is very small. Then you have the ability to run these games on your platform with virtual controls or with a real controller, if it could connect with the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3 controller through Bluetooth or whatever interface it specifically uses. This could expand PlayStation reach immensely. If there are currently over 110 million PlayStation Network accounts, and we know some of those accounts are not legit because I have 2 PlayStation Network accounts. So with stuff like that, I'm sure some of you guys out there have a European. I have a European account and I have a United States account, just so I can get stuff that comes out in Europe, just so like if I want to play that stuff. Like I know I have that, and I'm sure some of you guys have that. But think about all the new people that be signing up to the PlayStation Now just because they see like, oh, a 7-day free trial if it's on my PlayStation, not PlayStation, it's on my Apple TV, and on the big box it says try PlayStation Now for 7 days. Somebody who's an Apple fan might not have thought of doing that before, but now that they see it there, they might actually click that thing and download it. And that's just my opinion on the situation. PlayStation Now could be that little thing that sparks something bigger for Sony in the long run. Maybe in the next 6 months to a year we won't see it being there. But in the long run, yes. What does need to be changed with PlayStation Now though is the pricing. Currently, if you're not a subscription member, some of these prices are really out of whack. Let's take a look at this one right here. Alright, so 90 days is $8.99. That's awesome. That is an awesome price for $8.99 for an old PlayStation 2 game, baseball, All-Stars 2. Alright, but let's look at something. Let's see if we can't find something a little more well-known. Dead Island. So Dead Island for 90 days is $14.99. The 2 hours for 4 hours for $2.99. That I don't agree with. I think there should be a 1-day trial for games, because 4 hours for $2.99 just seems really expensive in this day and age. Me personally, guys. And I think there's some gamers out there that definitely will agree with me on this. I need to add a 1-day trial for the people who don't want to do the subscriptions, because obviously, like I said before, the subscription services come exclusively for the PlayStation 4 at launch. Eventually, the subscription service will end up on those Samsung TVs and the Vita and the PlayStation 3 and wherever else PlayStation Now will actually show up. Now, one thing I will mention with this PlayStation Now subscription that I know some of you guys are hating on the $19.99 price. Think about this. My nieces and nephews, they have a PlayStation 3, right? Right now, they have a PlayStation 3. And I've downloaded a bunch of games that I've liked playing for them. I've downloaded Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus. I've done a bunch of stuff. But they keep wanting me to buy more games for them to play. And I said, I don't play my PlayStation 3 anymore. I'm not going to buy you games. And all the other games I have for my PlayStation 3 are usually M and teen rated games. And these are little kids. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to give you these games to play. They keep wanting to play freaking Infamous. And I won't let them play Infamous. I really won't let them play Infamous. I'm one of those people, like, at least for they're not directly my kids, but if they're around me and I have them playing my systems, I gotta take the responsibility. I don't want to be playing Infamous and throwing around electrocuting people to death. I just don't want to show the kids that stuff this yet. But something like Sam & Max, Back to the Future, a boy, you know, Tales of Space, or Blob, all that stuff though, I can pay $20 a month, say, here you go guys, you can play these select games, and I'll tell them which games they could play and let them play those games on PlayStation Now. This would be a great service. Now I don't ever have to buy them games anymore. And they play games every single weekend on Sunday and Saturday. Those are the days that I let them play video games on my PlayStation, and they would love to have something new to play, because all they've been playing right now is E-rated games like not Drive Club, what am I saying? What's that racing game that came out a few years ago? Whatever, there's a PlayStation 3 racing game that's E-rated, and I let them play that and Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus, and they've been playing that constantly, and they need something else new to play, and I'm not buying any more PlayStation 3 games. But this might be a way for me to do it right now. I could even talk to their mother and maybe like, hey, you give me $10, I'll put in $10, and then at least, you know, we'd be basically buying your kids some games to play, and now you don't actually really have to buy anything for their DSs or anything, because they have DSs, and DS games cost a lot of money to keep buying games. Anyways, Biki here with the UntitledGameShow.com. This went way longer than I expected it to. I hope you guys enjoyed this little discussion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Peace out, guys, and share your own opinions as always. Later.